I was like, what is that sound? What's up, y'all? You know, YouTube be taking a couple of seconds to get started. Let me make sure I pull up the comments. How are you guys? Thanks for staying tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. We are in the building today, honey. I want to see. Hold on, let me turn off the TV because I feel like it's like fuzzy for some reason. Hold on. Hopefully. Oh, if it's fuzzy, I'm starting over. Because YouTube been playing. Let me take it off. Yeah. I hope it ain't fuzzy like this because I am not. I refuse to do a live video like this. I might start it over. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. I was about to say. Okay, we have the comments. Boom, bam, pizzow. All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Vixen After Dark. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, tapped in, turned on. I'm your host, Leticia Yofo. If you guys have not already joined the fam, please make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Click the bell right next to it. That way you guys are notified every time I go live. So, let's get started. Today, if you guys are new, I always do timestamps for y'all. So that way you guys are well aware of what we're tapping into. Of course, you know, throughout the week, I like to talk about my moon spreads. So we're going to talk about the moon in Virgo, okay, and how to make this energy work for you, things to look out for, negative and positive. And we're also going to learn more about if you are a moon in Virgo. That way we can get to know you a little bit better. I always like to talk about it in that kind of a way. And also you can kind of maybe put some names to who you are, you know, like put, how do I say it? Put into context. You know, you'll be like, oh, I didn't know I realized I did that. That's what it's called. So that's what we're gonna tap in today. So let me pull up the chats here. Also, you guys can find me at vixenafterdark.com. Like I said, I don't know if you guys watched my video about summer solstice. Happy Cancer season. We're in Cancer season. Go watch that video. I did an actual Cancer spread for the Cancers, but I also did a collective Tarotstrology spread as well for the collective. So go ahead and check that video out. We do have a couple of movements that are going on, but I'm gonna do like individual videos for those, or maybe I'll just do one big video as far as where's my, I think Juno actually also moved into Cancer, and then we have here Vesta's in Gemini, and then Ceres is in Libra. So I'm gonna do an asteroid video separate to this. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, you guys can find me, vixenafterdark.com. You know, I'm on Twitter, TikTok, wherever you guys want to find me. But, you know, home is YouTube. Home is YouTube. And also my website. You guys, I'm revamping that as far as if any services that you guys are looking for. So, yeah, that's exciting. Hopefully you guys are getting outside. It's been nice. The sun has been out. Love it. So, without further ado, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. That sounds like the song. Hallelujah in the rain. And happy Venus Day. It's Friday, you guys. Happy Venus Day. Hopefully everyone's being a little loving, giving people their flowers while they're here. I know I've experienced some of that. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. I'm feeling that. Let me put this on here. That way you can see what we got going on. So for today, there we go. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for today, you guys, is I'm going to talk about Moon and Virgo, of course, and then negative and positive. I'm also going to be discussing, you know, as far as the collective, the energy that we're going to be feeling. And then I'm going to also tap into some aspects that are playing out as well. Well, we got, I already talked about Jupiter sextiling Pisces right now. That's all week. That's been happening all week. But anyway, so I'll go tap into that. What else? Oh, the houses. Houses all the way 1 through 12 is going to be really important. As far as if you have Virgo, because whenever the moon shifts, you want to pay attention to where the moon is shifting. But also too, the houses that do have Virgo, if you wherever you have Virgo at, okay, or the moon playing out. And then I'll do the collective Tarotstrology for you guys. So let's get started. So we all know the moon is how we react and respond, right? Moon and Virgo. We all know how the moon is how we react and respond. Virgo is an earth element. Its ruler is Mercury. It's on the nighttime of Mercury, if you guys didn't know. It's a feminine mutable energy as well. And it also rules the 6th house. So what's our 6th house? Our 6th house is, you know, our well-being, our health, you know, how we provide support and help or the care for people, places, and things. So it's that's the home. So you guys are aware, if it's chilling in your 6th house, Virgo's at home in your 6th house if it's there. So just if you don't take anything else, just let's wrap it in a bow. I like to do one-liners in the beginning of the video. Walk the walk and talk the talk while moon is in Virgo. Period. Don't say anything if you ain't got, like, let's say for example, I don't want to say don't say anything. If you have any ideas, that's great, but make sure you have a plan of action, okay? Or else nobody's gonna care. Moon and Virgo. Okay? You gotta have some meat to the bones. You gotta know what you're getting into, or else it's just gonna fall on deaf ears, okay? So let's understand, if you are Moon and Virgo energy, kind of what to look out for. Some qualities that we may want to know. And Virgos are very intelligent, hence why it's ruled by Mercury, okay? They do everything in an exciting way with lots of care. That cloud looks like something. And so they're real deep. That's why they enjoy like deep conversations, things of that nature, okay? Because they're deep thinkers, so they indulge into nice, loving, warm, but also like educational type of deep conversations to have. I love when the moon's in Virgo because people like to, like, they'll go deep for the most part, people that I'm commingling with. So it's all about finding the facts, right? And the truth within knowledge that is being presented to us at this time. So if you are a moon in Virgo, you kind of have, you have a natural connection to the earth, animals. You know, it's like you value routine, structure, okay? You find lots of comfort and security in a well-organized environment is what I like to call it. So think of their energy. They're very logical, this is Pepper, sorry, she's sleeping and snoring at the same time if you guys can hear it. Moon and Virgo people are very, like I said, logical, very knowledgeable. Look where you have Virgo and in what house in your natal chart. It'll tell you a lot as far as who Virgo people come in, especially if they're a Virgo sun, if they come in, how they are playing out as a person in their life. I'll do a video on that, actually. It's very interesting. Anyways, so it's like anything a Virgo moon experiences in life, they'll either chalk it up and take it as a lesson, or they'll chalk it up as learning some type of valuable information, and they'll put it to some use. It's like they have a natural knack for order and being clean, being very efficient in life, okay? And they love to make improvements on everything. They're all, if you have a Virgo in your life, you know this already, right? So their thoughts, they're very comprehensive in the things that they take in. It's like they have a meticulous range of knowledge, and it's it's like they have so much information that we all can kind of pretty much benefit from. I feel like everybody needs a Virgo moon in their life for the most part. They know how to, like, let's say for example, you give a Virgo either, it's like, hey, you know, let's say you bought something from somewhere or you invested into something and you're presenting it to the Virgo moon. They're going to take all of that information, they're going to go do their research, do their due diligence, dissect it, look at the fine details of everything as far as whether this is about a company, a person, a place, or a thing. They'll dissect it, break it all down to look at the starting point of where everything derived from as far as that person, place, or thing. Once they do that, they can find out all the loopholes and where certain things are missing and come up with solutions for it. And then what they'll do is they'll put their own finesse on something, and then they'll turn it into something even better, or what they think is better. Virgo moon. So that's why they're highly organized and very detail oriented. Okay. They're always striving for perfection, whether that's in their personal life or emotional life. It's like they feel like they have like this huge responsibility or desire to help other people and be of service, hence why they rule the 6th house. So they're very attentive to other people's needs. They're very helpful if you have them around you. They like to really excel, especially with earthly, like things like anything that's practical, coming up with solutions and support and things in that arena. Okay, so that's why they're super diligent and reliable. You can really rely on a Virgo in your life to get some shit done, some stuff done. They take their commitments very seriously, okay, and they're always striving to, you know, go over of what's expected of them. It's like they'll meet the expectations, but then they'll go even further than that, okay, and you won't know what that is, but they'll outdo something for real. That's why they're very analytical in nature. Like, that's just who they are. And that kind of energy, when you're a person that's trying to perfect something, like, how do I say it? Like, number one, they don't think that they're perfect, but the way they do it is of perfection because they put their own finesse on it. Like I said, they break things down, find the loopholes. It's like, and then it's like, okay, this is how you do something, right? But with that energy of trying to always perfect something or having an analytical mindset like that, this can cause a Virgo moon to overanalyze or overthink. And like I said, even though they know nothing is perfect and they're not perfect, it's like that's why they nitpick every little thing or every little detail, you know, and they worry so much. Like, they're worriers. They worry a lot about certain things. So that's how they are, you know. But you know, they're very loyal. They have lots of passion within them, especially when they're carrying out duties, responsibilities, and obligations. They're very dedicated to the ones that they love, and they express the way that they care and affection through acts of service. Okay, they might not say it a whole lot. They might not be the ones who are like, I love you and I miss you and all that and you did this and that. No, they're gonna show it through an act of service. Like, this is them giving you something or giving you stability or giving you the gems and jewels of information and knowledge so you can water the seeds that they gave you and turn it into something, you know. They can't come across as a little bit pushy, or they may feel like, they may make you feel like you have to be doing something, like, or what are you getting into? What you got going on? What you doing? Like, they'll get, it's that energy that they give off. Like, I don't know, they Virgo moons, they motivate me. Like, I make sure I'm on my P's and Q's or I'm doing something. But that's just their nature. Like, they have a grand display of emotion in that sense. Like, that's how they show that they care about you. So right now, while we have the sun in Cancer, okay, and then we have the moon in Virgo, so we have water and earth playing out here. Now, I want everybody right now, this is where you can really, everything that's being highlighted or illuminated right now, whether this is in your personal life or whether this is playing out on a global scale. The sun illuminates everything, right? It's in Cancer. so it's in the water, right? There's a lot of information, a lot of things being said that are floating all around. I want you to do your own due diligence and utilize this Moon and Virgo energy to dissect the fine details of things that are being told to you, things that are being said, how people are reacting and responding to everything, okay? Because then you can really see between the lines and behind the veil of really what's being put to the forefront, whether it's good or bad. Okay, you should be able to use this energy to dissect. You know, with all these headlines and distractions that are playing out right now, you know, it's very important that you use your own discernment. And this is why shadow work is so important, because the things that you have went through and you may not have healed from, people can use that as a card and play it against you. It's so important. It's kind of like clean your own house of shit, okay? That way it can't be used against you, and that way you won't feel offended, and that way you won't, you know, react and respond based off of someone throwing daggers or swords at you. It's like, I don't regret nothing. Like, you know, you want to be in that energy. Like, this is what got me here. This is why I'm here today. This is why I moved the way that I moved. Like, you can't hurt me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't make me mad or upset. I already know what I did and what I participated in. I already took accountability for that. Moving on. Next. Like, that's kind of like the vibe of Moon and Virgo energy that we need to be playing right now at this time. It's really important. No one else can clean out your karmic debt or trauma or whatever but your own self. Like, you have to do some healing at some point. It's like for example, if you notice the difference between you know, someone is how they're playing out their emotions and how they're displaying that, it's not matching up with their actions or promises, you know, or things that they say they're going to do. Okay, especially even this could be yourself. This could be a whole red flag on the play. Okay, it's not genuine. They could be selling you pipe dreams. You know, you got to pay attention to whether a person is demonstrating, you know, the attention. You know what I'm saying? They're demonstrating their claims. They're demonstrating whatever they're offering, or whatever they're proposing to you. You have to really pay attention to that. Okay, you can see with Sun in Cancer right now, Moon in Virgo, and we also have Mercury still in Gemini. It's about to go into Cancer, but you'll be able to see, are they being thorough with what they're saying? Is it making sense? You know, this can be a huge indication, you know, whether someone's delivering you a pipe dream or not, or false promises, or are they empty with what they got going on. You can really see that when the Moon's in Virgo. I don't know, hopefully I'm getting through. If you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. Something just feels off. It's your gut. Okay, if your gut is like telling you that someone is, you know, not genuine, it's worth kind of paying attention to. Let's just say that. Or to pay attention to those feelings that you feel when you're around people and their energies. Ultimately, you know, you have to recognize during this time that we're in, ultimately, it's good to allow other people that you know, like, and trust to come into your life and to guide you, right? To give you a little bit of seasoning on your chicken, okay? However, it's up to you to actually walk the walk. You know what I'm saying? Using your own 2 feet and walk, using your own mouth to speak. It's really up to you to use your own brain, because at the end of the day, there are energy vampires out here, okay? They're out here at an all-time high. There are so many distractions that are playing out to see, are you going to believe in that or not? Are you going to feed into that or not? Really pay attention to what is being presented, whether it's pictures, videos, photos, people saying something. See what doesn't match, what's not correlating. It's normally right in your face, okay? So this is the time while Moon is in Virgo to play your cards right, okay? Sometimes you might need to use a poker face, and sometimes you might need to just book it to the left. Sometimes you may have to speak up and say something about it. Now, I would be careful of, you know, when you're playing 2 sides, you don't want to play 2 sides. You want to stay more in the middle. But I'm just giving you an up and up, like Moon and Virgo kind of an energy. In that case, while the Sun's in Cancer right now. So, as a collective, you guys, right now, you know, this having Moon and Virgo, you know, like I said, it rules the 6th house. So, like acts of service, how we care about people, places, and things, like how we support. You know, we can use this energy, whether that's as far as self, like making sure we're getting done with our self-care routines, whatever that may look like for you, paying attention to the details of life. Okay. You know, this can really lead to, you know, lots of personal growth within you. Okay. Adopting some healthy habits, since that's the other part of the 6th house. You know, and organize your life in a practical way and be efficient with whatever it is, the things that you're carrying out. Oh, them ginger shots, boy. And then when you have the Sun in Cancer, this will add that emotional need to nurture yourself, okay, along with that self-care part of it. In the process, and be a little bit more compassionate with yourself during this time, because, you know, I always want to like do a video every single day, like, how y'all doing today? Every time a new headline plays out, every time there's some type of rhetoric that's being brought to the news, or people sending me in my inbox, or my parents calling me about, and is this real, is this fake? Like, I'd be like, how y'all doing today? Like, how are you feeling? Like, are we still taking action on our dreams, goals, aspirations? Like, don't let nothing stop you during this time, please. Okay, so use the Sun and Cancer energy to really nurture yourself during this process. Okay, really check on self, because if you ain't right, home ain't right, chakras ain't aligned, like you ain't there, then how, you know, how you mix and commingle with other people, you may not be in a higher octave kind of an energy. You know how that plays out when you're in the lower octave. So if you can, this would be a good time to, you know, while the Sun's in Cancer, we have the Moon in Virgo, to, you know, make sure you have a strong connection with your own emotions and know when your energy is your energy. You know, make sure you're paying attention and getting your needs met as well. Okay. As far as like love and relationships, with Moon and Virgo, like I said, if you don't have a solution to something, it's just an idea and you're not going anywhere with it, there's no practical plan that you have in mind with the Moons in Virgo when you're dealing with other relationships, no matter if it's love or business partnership, friendship, best friend, whatever it is. If there's no solution or no action plan, no strategy, no nothing, it's going to fall on deaf ears and go one way and not the other. And if you have expectations when you're doing acts of service, and nothing is going to go well for you, it's not going to play out right, period. Okay. It's all about problem solving in relationships. Okay. It's all about coming up with solutions. Okay. It's all about going upward and onward and forward, not backwards. In any ships that you're sailing right now at this time while the Moon's in Virgo, it's very important. Okay. We need, if you are, you know, if something ain't right in a connection, it's time to make it right. Find out those details, because even though Virgo, Moon and Virgo is a feminine energy, we're doing it in a different way. Okay. You got to create some form of harmony within those connections and get it back together. Okay. This would be grand idea. This would be a grand idea to have those deep conversations and figure out, why are you guys where you're at in the first place? Why is there frustration? Why is there anger? Why is there sadness? Why am I crying? Why are we not talking? Whatever it is. Moon and Virgo, honest communication. Okay. So that you can get your needs met and the other person as well, in whatever ship that you're sailing right now, and you guys can kind of come together like a zipper. Okay. Like I said, use the Sun and Cancer energy to bring on that emotional, sensitive, empathetic, compassionate aspect to the conversation, but you don't want to sugarcoat or beat around the bush either. Okay. That way you can deepen those bonds and, you know, and nurture right now your connections that you have. It's really key, because there could be some people in your life right now that are always there for you, and they kind of get the short end of the stick from you, because why? You could be paying attention to distractions or things that don't even really matter. So we need to start, sometimes we kind of start from the roots, or ground zero in a sense, is what I like to call it, and see who's really been there for us. That way you can tell the real love versus the fake love, or the real bonds, you know what I'm saying? However you want to correlate it. Real bonds versus the fake bonds, or people that just want to be around you for clout or something that you have to offer, whatever it is, or the people that are actually genuinely there for you, ready to ride the bus right now, all the way up until you get to the limo, you know what I'm saying? And further. So as far as, you know, this combination with Moon and Virgo and the Sun in Cancer, we all want to be loved, right? So create security within your connections right now at this time. You know, by doing those acts of service without expecting anything back, and just doing it out of the kindness of your heart because you want to do it and it feels good to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I would say just really focus on that. If you're not a person that's already like that, support your friend. You know what I'm saying? Support them coming up on doing something. You know, congratulate them on doing a good job, whatever that looks like for you. We need genuine love, and unconditional love at that. A lot of people don't even know what unconditional love looks like. Woo! That's a whole nother topic. But with this combination, you know, make sure there's a mutual understanding, okay, amongst the parties. Because I'll tell you one thing with this Moon and Virgo energy, if, you know, Virgos are very observant of everything, right? The Moon and Virgo, very observant. So think of it on a collective scale, this combination. We can really nurture some things, but make sure we're nurturing the right people, places, and things during this time. Paying attention to the details of it all. Look at the foundation so that we can have long-lasting relationships with one another. And it's just not, you know, it's not a tit for tat kind of a vibe, because that's what Moon and Virgo can do. Say hi to Jackson. So as a collective, with this energy playing out, I'm going to go over some aspects in a little bit, because I keep staring at them because they're just poking out like a sore thumb. So just for the most part, as a collective, we can really, you know, feel like we need to really, if you're not already, focusing on the details of what's being presented to you, whether it's a person, place, or thing. Pay attention, pretty much. That's the cheapest thing you can do right now, is pay attention. Okay? Sit back and watch, observe. Be very observant and mindful. Like I said, utilize your own discernment, follow your intuition and your gut at all times. If something feels questionable, go with that feeling and, you know, dive in deep to see, why is this questionable right now. You have to learn how to solve your own problems, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Virgos do. They can really have something presented to them, find all the loopholes, find what's missing, see what doesn't correlate, what's not making sense, break it all down, and then build it back up and come up with a solution to move forward and not be in a stuck or stagnant kind of an energy. Okay, so it's all about being productive and not busy, and also with Earth energy, being practical about the things that we're carrying out. Whether this is you having a strong desire to produce something within your life, you know, what are your priorities? Have they changed? Hopefully they have, you know what I'm saying? And so that way you can actually gain a sense of accomplishment in your life, whatever it is that you're working towards. Okay, and you feel satisfied within. You know, as far as like Sun in Cancer, Moon in Virgo energy, as far as our emotional stability, you got to kind of think that we may all collectively may experience, you know, what is making us feel emotional. You know, what are we putting our emotions and thoughts and feelings? How are we reacting and responding to certain things? With Moon in Virgo, it kind of gives you that lens to see that, if that makes sense. Okay, who's helping you build you up? Who's breaking you down? You know, who's pushing you and motivating you and giving you solutions when you're in the midst of conversation with them, whether this is friends at work, coworkers, family members, lovers, friends. Who's doing that for you and who is not? Okay, you know, because you got to think Virgo energy, they're very methodical in a sense. So, and like I said, they're all more of like showing their emotions as far as like acts of service. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of acts of service are you receiving? Okay, and what are you dishing out is going to be the name of the game. Put a thumbs up if you feel me. So like I said, this the negative, that's why I said that, because the negative side to this, as far as having Moon and Virgo, Sun and Cancer, if you put all this together, some people can be very critical of others. Like I said, there's that tit for tat, womp, 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 womp kind of an energy. Oh my gosh. The overthinking, overanalyzing kind of a vibe going on. You know, people may be emotionally vulnerable during this time, but might not have anyone to go to because of this energy that could be being carried out. You know, you got to think, since Virgo pays attention to the details of everything, everyone could be looking at themselves as like, oh my God, I have so many flaws. It's kind of like the girl looking at the chick in the magazine. She's got a nice butt. I'm going to go get a butt job because I don't like my butt. You know what I'm saying? It's simple as that, you know, like just looking at all your flaws and, you know, putting yourself down. So that's why I said shadow work is very important, okay, to heal those past wounds. That way you won't be throwing daggers at your goddamn self with your own thoughts, and also it's not allowing other people to come at you sideways either. You're gonna be like, shh. It's gonna be like that's your armor. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be feeling hurt if somebody throws something at you. You're gonna be like, yeah, I know I did that, and like I already learned from that. Next, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be a little bit tougher. So when Moon and Virgo hits, if someone is attacking your emotional wounds or trying to throw something at you, you won't get offended because you'll be confident within yourself and where you're going and what you're doing, okay? Because you accept yourself. So you have to be careful and aware of this energy. Like, even at work, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, I don't know, let's say you work at Macy's and you fold in t-shirts and here comes your supervisor or coworker. You didn't do that right. And then takes it all, undoes it, and then refolds it. I don't know, I'm just thinking of something like, it could be as small as that kind of stuff. So imagine that happening in your household, at work, and then you doing it to your goddamn self. It can play out in so many different scenarios in so many different ways. I'm just giving you guys examples on what you can face. You know, especially when it comes to love or any type of relationships, especially when you're talking to people on a daily basis, you know, people can be nitpicking, you know what I'm saying? And then where's the emotional safety within that? Okay, there could be some challenges within our relationships and our connections with other people right now at this time, because you could be looking at your partner or whatever friendship you have or whatever ship you're sailing, you could be looking at them as they didn't do something right, you know, finding the imperfections, you know, you did this, so I'm gonna do that. Like, just really putting up all their faults or all the negative things that's occurred, beating people up, you know. Like, what does this look like? This can be, you know, you coming from home, you just work 10 hours and all you want to do is come home to like a hug, a kiss, or a hot cooked meal and a goddamn shower in your bed. But yet, as soon as you walk in the door, here goes whoever you live with or whatever. What was this? What was that? Why'd you do that? What happened to this? Just going in on everything bad that you did, or everything that was like, you know what I'm saying? Everything that you were at fault for, how they seen it in their eyes. It could be a small, like, I'm not going to say that's small. That could end up being a big blowout, but I'm saying it could be a situation or experience like that while the moon is in Virgo. So just remember to breathe and be like, moon in Virgo, moon in Virgo. Okay, let's come up with a solution. Right? Like, talk about it. That's when you have that uncomfortable conversation. Be like, look, I'm sorry, hun. I just worked 10 hours today. I just want to take my shoes off. I just want to take a hot shower right now and decompress from work. And then I'll get to those things. I apologize. I was busy doing this. And then I ran out the door. I wanted to get to work on time. Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to bring that kind of a vibe, you know? Because if you do fire with fire, oh my God, it's just going to go crazy. It's going to make it even worse. And cause conflicts, misunderstandings. So it's important to find a balance, and also knowing when to not say something or when to speak up. You know, not every, you know, what do they say, that saying, like, not every battle you need to fight, or not everything, I don't know, not every war you need to bring a weapon to, or I don't know, whatever that saying is, you know what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes things just don't need to be said. And also delivery is going to matter too in any ships that you're sailing right now at this time. as well, okay? So use the Sun in Cancer energy to create harmony and balance, especially when it's on the home front. Oh my God, it can be very uncomfortable because now if you have a riff or tiff with someone and you match their energy as far as them vibing low, so you went there with them, and then it's like now next time you go back to work, it's like you don't even want to be around them. Now you like thinking about that the whole shift, and now your whole shift's messed up, your mind's messed up, you want to go home, you want to rush, you know, that can cause accident. It can just trickle like a whole domino effect, whether this is at work, home, you know, neighbors, whatever it is, your friends, you talk to on the phone, business partners. Oh my goodness, you know, it can get deep. It can get real deep. Okay, so bring that compassion with the Sun in Cancer energy. Okay, especially when it comes to like work. Oh my God, when it deals with work, career, or your money, because you know Virgo deals with 6th house energy. So combine this energy to really, you know, build stability right now. If there's something that you're passionate about and it makes you so emotional, you're tuned in, tapped to turn on with whatever it is that you're doing in life right now, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that's where you're putting your time and energy into, transmuting any kind of, you know, energy that you're going through that's not so great. Deal with that and then focus on what's important, not the distractions, but focus on what's important to you. Put all of that energy into those things that can build stability for you, that can bring the security, you know what I'm saying, as far as your foundation goes, so you can feel yummy and comfortable during Cancer season. Because when it comes to the money, here's where, you know, people can buy people things to shut people up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we just argued last night. I'm just gonna give her a little dick and dinner, you know, buy her a couple of flowers or whatever and be over. No, that's kind of sweeping under the rug. You know, that's not gonna help anything. That's like that's like something that happens just like that. It's gonna come up next week in some form or fashion. Remember, you said he was gonna take me on dinner. You didn't even do any of that. You came up with some whack ass dried up flowers and try to dick me down. You know what I mean? Like, it could just turn out sour. It's gonna play out in a whole nother way. It's gonna come back later. It's gonna be like what's the word I'm looking for? Certain things people will do right now is gonna be temporary. Thank God, couldn't come up with the word. So make sure you're not just buying people's love or buying your way out of things or situations or experiences. You're actually dealing with them when shit hits the fan, because you do have a lot of planets in Leo still right now, okay? Lilith, Mars, and Venus. Fire stellium is sitting right there. So wherever house that is, whoop, okay? And having the moon in Virgo, here goes the worry, the anxiety, you know, all these things, because Virgos are very analytical, so you got to pay attention to that. And sometimes that analytical kind of energy can contribute to that fire meets fire. So it's kind of looks like, let's say you are engaging in conversation. You think you're right, the other person think they're right. It's like playing judge and lawyer, and oh Lord, it feels like a whole court session. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of that, and not to be you gotta let bygones be bygones at some point. You can't do the tit for tat, okay? I can think of the most worst case scenarios, but we're not gonna go into that because of Virgo energy. People are looking at the small details of everything. Especially like in business, especially if you have a business partner, or you guys might bump heads. My way is better than your way. We're gonna do it this way. And nobody can come up with no damn solution. So it's just like, you know, something may not play out that well. Like, let's say you work at a restaurant or something, you know, you might be the lead for the night, and then you have your supervisors still there, and the GMs in the back office, and then you have the cooks and the chefs, and so there's a party of 120 out there, and everybody's got to serve, but there's too many goddamn cooks in the kitchen, and nobody's paying attention and listening to what goes where and who goes where, who has dietary restrictions, who doesn't, you know, and the whole service of serving the actual food is just like wonky. Like, it's just, it comes out all jacked up because you got too many people paying attention to things that don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? When the food is hot and it needs to get to people so they can eat. That's like the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, it can play out in so many ways. And then you have, oh Lord, like Sun in Cancer, you know, with Moon in Virgo, like I said, the way a Virgo shows their emotions is through acts of service. It's not it takes a while for Virgo to be like, I love you, I miss you, you know, and be all like emotional in that form of feminine way, you know, the divine feminine kind of energy. It's hard to explain. It's like it's a feminine energy, but it's also you would think that they're operating more in the masculine energy when you see a Virgo, if that makes sense. So that's why acts of service are their theme when it comes to how they react and respond, Moon and Virgo energy. But with Sun in Cancer, there can be this emotional detachment in a sense, where it looks like that. So there can be some kind of struggle, or, you know, people might not know how to connect the two, or, you know, really express, unless you're tuned in, tapped in, turn on. So just know that this is the energy that we could be facing. Not saying that it will, just giving you examples. A Virgo mood will more so like intellectualize the way that they feel versus giving you like the surface, you're so yummy, and you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's hard to explain, but if you have a Virgo in your life, you know. Maybe I'll do a better job. I'll work on that as far as explaining that, but it's like there's an emotional distance maybe as a collective that some people may be facing. We'll just put it into layman terms like that. Enough about that. I was trying to give you some examples. Let's talk about the aspects that are playing out. Like I said, all week we do have Jupiter is sextiling with Saturn, and we all know Saturn is retrograde in Pisces right now. I did a video on that. If you guys didn't watch that video, go watch it. So this is a harmonious kind of a blend as far as Jupiter being in the sign of Taurus, bringing on that stability and harmony within whatever it is that we're carrying out. Okay, and allowing us to really expand on that. You know, and then you mix Saturn in the mix with Jupiter, is allowing us to have a little bit of discipline to go within, to see what's right from wrong, to seeing what we're putting our time and attention into for the things that we want to grow and bring the abundance in our lives, you know, for the long haul, not for, you know, a quick get rich scheme. You know what I'm saying? So adding the moon in Virgo will allow us to see the details of all of that, you know, whatever we are putting our time and attention into, because that's Jupiter's going to expand that, right? So is it something that, you know, we need to be focused on right now at this time? Hence why I brought up all the distractions that are playing out right now. It's really giving it an analytical approach to, you know, what it is that we got going on to really enhance. Oh, can you guys still hear me? My AirPod thing just clicked up. It's really allowing us to be more in the productive mind state. Use this energy to be a little bit more efficient with what you have going on right now. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. So with Sun in Cancer right now, we can allow our emotions to take over. And when you do that, you're not so productive. So I like that the moon's in Virgo right now, because now it's like, yeah, you had me there for about 5 or 10 minutes. I was emotional about it, and now I'm kind of over it. Now, how can we come up with some goddamn solutions? Like, it's just, I don't know, it just kind of like goes together in that form. That's just how I look at it. But with this sextile here, this has been playing out all week, you guys. So I'm just adding in the moon and Virgo mix to it right now. But on the negative side to this, you know, Jupiter sextiling, because sextiles are good, but there's always a negative and positive. While Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, it's forcing us to go within. And this sextile with Jupiter right now, we can be overly cautious of whatever it is that we're tapping into. We can be resistant to change because of everything that's kind of being pushed in our face, whatever agenda is being pushed out, whether this is the news, social media headlines. You can kind of just forget about what the hell you got going on, and you're sucking all your time and energy into things that don't matter. Like, for example, let me just put this in real life. This is the easiest way to do it. let's say, for example, you're carrying out your duties, responsibilities, and obligations. You're working on your business at home or whatever it is that you're crafting up. You know that you're going to work for, there's a purpose, it's temporary, whatever. So you're going there, you're in a good mood, and then here goes the whole group of people talking about a whole, distraction of a headline that's playing out right now, especially like what, the Titanic and stuff like that. Oh, I didn't want to say that, but you know what I'm saying? You're looking like, wow, these people are really feeding into it. Like, what are we doing? What's really going on? Like, there should be, and they're going to cause so much to by talking about that or participating in that, especially if you believe all of what's going on is playing out, that can manifest in so many different ways. I'm not even going to go there, but, hence, here we go. Everyone could be emotional about it and feeling bad and, oh my God, and whatever have you. And so no one is actually carrying out what everyone's supposed to be doing at work at that time. You know what I'm saying? It's like the talk of the town. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird vibe when you see things play out and you just don't want to participate. Like, I have things to say about, but I stay in the middle. Like, I'm not going this way, I'm not going the other way. I can see both sides of how everything could be playing out from different perspectives on how people are perceiving information. But is that getting me anywhere? You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, a lot of people can be fearful of what's playing out. They may not want to take those risks. Okay? They may not want to follow a routine. They may not want to do anything in a structured kind of a way. I'm just going to go with the flow and just let everything happen. And I'm just going to manifest and meditate my way through without doing anything. It doesn't make sense. You got to take action and stand on 2 feet and put your crown back on. You got to put in the work, baby. Okay. So it's important to find a nice balance. If you want to grow, if you want to live this beautiful grand lifestyle, if you want to be stable within your connections and within life period, as you're building your foundation, you just have to take on the opportunities. You don't want to miss the chance because somebody pumped fear in your head. There's a lot of fear mongering going on. Like I said, all these headlines and things that are playing out, distractions at an all-time high. So it's like you may miss something that's grand for you, or you could be in the mindset of where it's going to stop you from wanting to do anything at all, and then you are a person that wakes up and you hate life and you don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of that, we do have the nice little trine here. We do have Lilith and Leo that's trining with Chiron and Aries, and Chiron, the wounded warrior, and trines are really good. Well, there's a negative and a positive, but with this trine here, that's why I said shadow work is so important, because when you have a strong sense of who you are as an individual and how you're presenting yourself to the world, you can really empower some people. You got yourself through whatever it is that you got through. Okay, now I'm not saying whatever you did to help yourself get out of what you did to empower yourself to move forward in a positive manner, exactly that is going to help the next person. But in some form or fashion, it can empower them, motivate them. Like, oh, they got out of that situation and now they're here. It's kind of like a person, they always say people were like in the detriment, like they were broke, homeless, all the millionaire stories. Broke, homeless, did it out of my garage kind of an energy. No one was there for me. I did this all on my own. Here I am now making millions. You could do it too. That's like just to give you a visual of what I'm talking about. So you can be that person to encourage someone else to grow, to heal. Like, I love to see, my homegirl has this podcast right now, and it's like, I love to see 2 people coming together, man, and just like empowering one another and helping each other heal, lifting each other up. Like, we need more of that. Like, we need that. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is that Lilith trine Chiron right now, okay? Being authentic, expressing yourself for who you are and where you're at now, how you got here today, and living in the present and moving forward. Like, that's what's important. encouraging other people, empowering them, lifting them up, you know, despite what the hell is playing out in the world right now, you know, still doing what you want to do. And the negative side to this, though, with the Lilith energy, this is also too, you got to think, because Lilith's in Leo and you have Chiron in Aries, these are both fire energies. So, you know, there goes the ego and pride. A lot of people want to get their ego stroked, or a lot of people are operating just only out of their ego and using it, you know, in a malicious way. So I gotta say that, you know, this could be you or this could be somebody else. So there could be some challenges that are playing out too. It's like, it may not be easy to have a safe space to be vulnerable with, or to have the emotional stability within self or in other people to say like, oh, can I even talk to this person about what I'm going through right now? Or no, I don't even want to talk about it right now because I don't even know if they really for me or against me. Like, you start questioning that. Like, it sucks that at this day and age we gotta have to question, damn, who can I talk to? It's like Escape. Who can I run to? Who can I run to share this? If you know the song, you know the song. But it's kind of like that energy. It's like, who can I actually express what it is that I got going on? You know what I'm saying? And they actually will give me some sound advice and want to lift me up. It's tricky at this day and age, you know what I'm saying? So that we can all heal. A lot of people are scared to do the work. They don't even know how to do the work. They don't even know what the word shadow work means. They don't even know where to begin. You know what I'm saying? And so awareness and self-reflection are key to really ensuring that this energy is used constructively, and not ego-based. Because if it's ego-based, then that's where the resistance kind of comes in, and it's not genuine. We also do have, as I mentioned, Chiron. Chiron in Aries is trining with Mars. And Mars is also in Leo, which is a fire sign. So the negative and positive to this, you know, combining this energy, it's a lot of deep healing, lots of transformations that can arise in your life and other people that you know. It just, for me, like, looking at all of this, just bottom line, look at it as being authentic, being your true self. That's how you'll get to places. Like, period. You just gotta be you and do you. Like me, like I'll put me up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going live and I'm trying to give you guys all these grapes and all this information. I made sure I have a couple of notes here just so I can stay on task and stay focused, even though I may have some things that I'm working on personally as far as maybe my speech or the way that I talk, but I'm still doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still doing it. Like, I don't care. I'm still doing it, and I'm being me while I'm doing it and being genuine and authentic. I'm just giving you a visual. I don't know what else to do. And I'm taking action, okay? Fire energy. So taking bold action on the things that we desire, whatever it is that you want to carry out, however, whatever change you want to have in your life, just doing it unapologetically and not being scared. You know what I'm saying? Support your dreams and your endeavors and your goals. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's like, you know what I'm saying, in a helping somebody out here, you know, helping the community, you know, you're doing it for good. That's the most important part. Oh, excuse me. So lots of self-development here, really finding out who you are, where you want to go, what you want to do. The ability, look at all these beautiful butterflies just came around. Oh, the ability to really overcome any past wounds that you went through. You know what I'm saying? So, like, having the courage, using that fire energy to express yourself in an authentic way. You know, it's more relatable. You know what I'm saying? I could all day probably set up some cue cards and read line by line, but is that authentic? No. I mean, it's just not, for me, I don't know. I feel like it just doesn't reach the people. It doesn't get across, like, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. That's why on the negative side to this, having a Chiron trining with Mars, and they're both in fire signs right now, you know, it can lead to like very aggressive or impulsive kind of a behavior. And it's very crucial because some people can be very assertive in the time that everyone's sensitive right now, Sun in Cancer. So it may not, they may not have positive intentions, you know. Conflicts could be handled with compassion and understanding, but somebody wants to still play lawyer, Moon and Virgo. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta just kind of, you know, ease up on that. Let's actually switch it up. We're gonna talk about if you have Virgo in your houses 1 through 12. That way, you know what to pay attention to. So let's talk about if you have Virgo in the first house. Okay. First house is all about self, right? So paying attention to, you know, self-care routines, making sure you're doing that. Your physical well-being, right? You know, your intake, focusing on developing yourself as a person, maybe organizing your thoughts and things of that nature before you present yourself. Let's say, for example, I don't know, you're going on an interview, you know, making sure you're well dressed and you smell good, you know, and you have your resume and you have your questions laid out, you know, preparing yourself for whatever you're about to walk into or step into. You have a solution to everything, boom, bam, pow. Now you can bring on your personality, your charm, who you are, you know what I'm saying? And then boom. So presenting yourself in a way to the world that makes sense, you know, so that people you can be embraced versus shunned, you know, even though a lot of us get shunned for whatever it is that we do. But I'm just saying, this is like in your first house. So paying attention to the details of how you present yourself is going to be key. Are you being the person that's tit for tat? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you being more in your ego and self-centered and it's all about you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really paying attention to how you're, you know, presenting yourself. Virgo in the second house, just pretty much paying attention to your finances. You know, this is, you know, second house is all about material possessions as well. So, you know, being very practical because it's an earth energy, Virgo energy, with how you spend your money. Like, you don't want to say, oh yeah, we going to Dubai, bitches, and then all of a sudden you spend like 10 racks and you come back home, rent ain't paid, there's no food in the fridge, you spend all your money on Gucci and Louis outfits just to look cute on the beach or ride a camel, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, being practical with your spending, you know, making sure everything's good on the home front, because remember, sun's in Cancer. So just analyzing your resources, that way you're stable and sound and secure before you go participate with the fuckery and the dancery. Okay, pretty much for the most part, that's what that second house is. Third house, we know third house is all about communication. So if you have Virgo here, you can really practice, you know, effective communication with other people, you know, whatever pursuits that you're learning, things of that nature, and, you know, organize your thoughts, you know. If you are learning something, making sure you're learning in an efficient way to where if you want to teach it later, because a lot of Virgos are master teachers or educators, counselors, whatever, coaches, whatever. So you could be one of those people probably. So yeah, just expressing yourself in a clear way and being authentic and getting your point across, but also too looking at the other perspective of the other person as well, having a nice balance. You know, fourth house, having Virgo in there. So this Cancer rules fourth house. So Moon and Virgo right now, if you have it transiting here, pay attention to your home and your family life, as I was explaining earlier. I try and give you guys all kind of scenarios of how it could play out depending on the houses. So, you know, make sure it's of harmony in your house. Make sure everything's kind of organized and, you know, everyone's got their little duties they got going on, and making sure you take care of your responsibilities and obligations within your home front, right? And home can even be in here for you, for some, okay? Making sure you straighten on the up and up as far as your actual home, your avatar, your vehicle, whatever you want to call it. You know, nurturing yourself and also showing support to loved ones, okay? Doing acts of service. Oh, you know what? You cooked. I'm going to do the dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, one hand washes the other kind of vibe when it's chilling in the fourth house right now. So acts of service are going to be key. And that way everybody's emotionally fulfilled while the sun's in Cancer. You see how all this energy, you can kind of play with it and commingle? You know what I'm saying? Think of life like a video game with any energy that's presented to you. Know how to what's the word I'm looking for? Alchemize it, you know? Anyways, 5th house. So 5th house, this is a creative house, right? We do have that Leo stellium. So pay attention to, you know, how you express yourself, you know, in a creative way, of course, or how you pay attention to your romantic relationships in this house too. So honor, you know, your creative skills. Don't put yourself down. Don't be too meticulous. Don't be overanalyzing and overthinking what you got going on. Don't try and perfect something. It's kind of like me as a content creator. Some people like things so perfect before they even just put it out there. I'm a person, I'll put the content out there and then I'll like go watch it, or I'll see a comment or somebody said something and I'll go look at myself and analyze, oh, okay, I'll do better next time. Like, but I'm not gonna not do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not perfect, I'm gonna still put it out. So if it's in your 5th house, you got to be aware of that as well too. Okay, be careful. You know, just stay organized. You know, and tend to your creative endeavors or leisurely pleasures or activities, whatever you like to call it. You know, pay attention to the details. You know, but make sure you're not being hard on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just pay attention to the details as far as like coming from the matters of the heart. Like, for example, let's say you are a wedding planner. You know, that's good to pay attention to the details because this is a special day for Brenda. She's getting married today and I want to make sure these flowers are fresh. So can you deliver these like 10 minutes before reception? You know what I'm saying? Like, pay attention to the details when it really matters. Not saying like, oh my God, you know, this flower is just a little bit too much over there. Can you just change that? I need all the bouquets changed right now. And it's like an hour before the wedding. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. Don't go overboard with this whole Moon and Virgo energy. Lord Jesus, you can drive yourself crazy in the house of 5. Especially if you're creating something. Let's do Moon and Virgo house 6. Ooh, so Virgo rules this house. So you want to pay attention to your health while Moon's in Virgo, okay? Some people may, you know, this is where I have to say it. Some people you may end up sick, or maybe you have like something going on, nasal, stomach, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Virgo does rule the digestive tract and the nervous system. So just be extra cautious, I would say, of the things that you're eating and drinking with this transit, okay? You know, in your daily routines, of course, too, because that's house 6 as well. So maintaining, you know, a healthy lifestyle, especially if you already had this in your 6th house. So you probably are a person that pays attention to, you might be like a gym rat, or, you know, you juice all your vegetables and fruits. You know what I mean? Like, you could have been already that. But anyways, like, organize your work environment, you know, making it comfortable for you. You know, kind of clean things out. That way, when you do acts of service, it feels so much better, because when you feng shui an area or you cleanse something and you just keep it spruce, I like to call it, it just feels even better when you got to do something, you got to work, or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's just good spiritual hygiene already, but some people don't practice that. But, you know, who am I? So just take care of yourself, period. We have 7th house, right? So Moon and Virgo, 7th house energy. So partnerships, relationships, right? So focus on creating a balance. Try not to do focus on what somebody did wrong all the time, you know? Use it as a teaching moment. Be like, well, the way I look at it is I would have kind of executed it this way instead of that way, or I would have said this instead of that. And that way we could have came to a solution versus us arguing and jumping down each other's throats, you know, for next time, honey, okay? Love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, be careful. Even if it's a love partnership or even a business partnership, a friendship, like, use things as teaching moments if you see in your eyes the way you perceive it. This is what I like to do in conversation. When you're talking to somebody, if they're like, especially if they're very long-winded, or you see them that they're going all over the place, but you're still able to follow them, just repeat back, hey, this, so I understand that. So is it right that you said da 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 question mark? You know what I'm saying? Versus assuming this is what they said. So this is how I understood what you told me. And in that way, this causes a conversation. You're actually conversing, okay, having the proper communication with somebody. And no one is in ego, okay? Everyone's out of their ego, and everyone's just trying to be on the same plane, like as far as understanding. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the harmony comes in, right? So pay attention to that, okay? As far as the way you're communicating with others, and also paying attention to how people are talking to you. It tells a lot. And I tell people, they let them talk enough, and you just sit there and you're like, they'll kind of tell on themselves. So, like I said, as far as what's being broadcasted in the news, what's being told to you through all these headlines and things of that nature, you can really pay attention to those details, okay? This will allow you to strengthen, this right here, but also if you're dealing with that personally, strengthen your personal connections with people. Because then you guys can make sure it's like, oh, this person actually cares about what I said. So what I said was, I really meant to say, I'm sorry, I could have just said that. And then boom, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. And like you guys are on the same, you know what I'm saying? You hear with it. There's no doubt. There's nothing questionable. It's black and white. There's no beating around the bush. It's like, boom, we got it out. Next. You know what I'm saying? So... And that's another thing too, because in relationships, some people kind of throw things under the rug. There's the people-pleasing energy, or I don't want no conflicts. But we have to have some form of, we have to speak about some things. Some people avoid confrontations, but sometimes that's what builds stronger connections in a sense, because you have to agree to disagree sometimes, or you have to bring out what your moral values and beliefs are, because not everybody believes the same thing, and to have a conversation about it in a grown way, we can talk about it, and then we can either let bygones be bygones, or we can do, like I said, agree to disagree, or we can see another perspective and maybe alter our perception of something, like, oh yeah, I really didn't look at that, you're right, oh okay, I missed that part, okay, we can be more understanding in that form, okay. 8th house. So pay attention to your shared resources and any emotional transformations that you have for yourself personally, if it's in the 8th house here. So also this can deal with like finances too. Just kind of like analyze, like, whatever you invested in, things of that nature. But intimate connections, Virgos, yeah. Virgos can be there, y'all. So, some sexual healing can go on. No. But no, seriously, anything related to intimacy or trust in the 8th house. We're just gonna leave it at that. Pay attention to building upon trust. Do those actions to where you can show that, oh, okay, this person. If I do this, I know this person will trust me. And don't do it like, oh, I said that all jacked up. You want to do things to where a person won't question if they can trust you or not. That's better. How about that? 9th house, we're moving on. Pay attention to anything that you're learning, absorbing right now as far as information, right? If you want to be a person that's sitting there expanding your horizons and you want to learn some things, you got to utilize your own discernment. You got to do your own goddamn research. Don't believe everything that's like being told to you. Dive deep, okay? And really go there, fall into the rabbit holes. This is where I think Virgo moon energy would excel, okay? As far as educating yourself. This is how, you can really break something down and really find out the ins and outs of it all. 9th house also has to do with travel. So, you may want to travel and go find out about something. But we ain't. I was just about to make a horrible joke about a submarine. Let me stop. You may want to find out, some detailed information or do some detailed research to find out if something's true or false. Okay, moving on. 10th house. So paying attention to, you know, your public image and your career status right now. So this is where I said pay attention to those people that you could be the one that's being overcritical of how someone is doing something at work, or you could be obsessing over how you're presenting yourself to the world, and you might, like I said, you might try and perfect something. Oh, I'm not going to post that, or I'm not going to do that. You know, never mind. No, scrap that. Or you could do something like 100 times and never really take action on it. So, especially when it's in your 10th house. So focus on presenting yourself in a professional way, however that looks for you. You know, organizing your responsibilities at home, more so at work, but you know, like if you have an office at home is what I meant by that. You know, pay attention to the details. You know, as far as if you want to achieve success, well, you got to cross all your T's and dot all your I's. Read the contract before you put all your eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? Know that every opportunity is not a good opportunity. You know, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Really dissecting stuff, especially when it comes to your 10th house. 11th house. Social groups, gathering, networking, all of those things. So really pay attention to detail to who are you talking to? What are they talking about? Especially. This is where you can kind of find out if someone's like, oh, boo-hoo, crying, woe is me, oh my God. But then their actions are total opposite, red flag on the play. You know, this looks like people, you know, I broke my leg and I have this disease now, so here's my GoFundMe, but yet you see them ice skating or whatever at a park or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't match. Something ain't right. Nope, this GoFundMe, I'm not funding it. It can be like that. So you gotta, this is where you can kind of really see that amongst your social groups. You know, this is where you can also do the acts of service with friends. You know, let people know if you really appreciate their work, like someone does art, music, you know, they have sporting events, you know, participate, go and be their cheerleader. You know, that way you can deepen those connections or get to know people more, probing questions, make them think, you know, dive a little bit deeper. You know what I'm saying? You can really use this energy to help out. Maybe it's in your community. Maybe you want to go pass out brown bags to the homeless. I don't know. Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You can really be of service when Virgo, you know, Moon and Virgo is in the house 11 here. Okay? And also tend to your friendship circles too. Maybe you've been so busy. Now it's starting to look like you might have to kind of maybe schedule a dinner or a lunch now because you're so busy, but at least you're scheduling it in because you care about this person. You want to meet up with them. You want to talk to them. You don't want to just talk on the phone. You want to be able to be with them in person and really express to them, you know, give them their flowers while they're here, kind of an energy, vibe out, whatever it is. Yeah, girl, let's go get a drink later. Let's go have dinner on me. Oh, I missed you. We have so much to catch up on, you know, and then that way you guys can be like, you know what? Thank you for doing this. You know, like, I just needed this break from the kids, girl. And oh, my man, he's stressing me out right now. I just needed someone that understands me. Sometimes we kind of need that companionship. So letting people know what you mean to them when it's transiting in your house 11. But also, you know, that flip side. House 12. So pay attention to your inner world, spiritual practices that you have going on here. Focus on you as far as I would do, if it's in this house, a lot of self-reflecting would be ideal during this time for you. You know, this would be a good time to organize your personal space. Make sure you have your own space to carry out spiritual practices or just even to clear your mind. You know, engage in things that provoke or promote healing. Okay, when it's transiting in the 12th house. Yeah, make sure because peace is priceless. You can't put a price on peace. So making sure you find peace within everything it is that you're tapping into. Okay. I think that's probably it for that segment. Let's move on. I want to do a spread, honey. I want to do a spread. Can we get a You guys don't forget to thumbs up the video as you're watching. Helps the video circulate and percolate. Hold on. Definitely appreciate. All right, guys. So this portion we're gonna do a collective spread. Do we have time? Yes, I have time. Collective spread. So I'm gonna, of course, check the energy. Ooh, look what's behind at the bottom of the deck. Doors to Romance, 33. So check the energy, and then we'll do Tarotstrology. Bottom of the deck, look at that. Chariot, Cancer energy. Oh, it's funny, we're in Cancer season. Okay. And see what is playing out, what to pay attention to with all the transits that are happening right now, how to utilize that in our real life. Okay. And then you know what? I didn't do the wheel last night or the night before, so I'm gonna we're gonna bust out the wheel, depending on who you're dealing with, as far as all the way from Aries to Pisces. I'll pull a card for that. Alrighty, so, oh no, I died again. I'll put this one in here. So let's do that. How does that sound for everybody? Are we in the same accord with that? Are we excited? Let's get into it. Move this out the way. I'm ready to get excited about this and get going. Okay, guys, let's get started with the collective. I'm gonna keep the charts up here, that way we can kind of see. Who's ready? Let's see how everyone's doing right now, Sun, Cancer, Moon, and Virgo, honey. Okay, we have we still have, like I said, we have a fire stellium playing out. Make sure you watch that video. I did the fire stellium video when we had the moon in Leo at the time. It was Moon, Lilith, Mars, and Venus in Leo. So we still have fire stellium. We still have this earth stellium with Taurus going on, playing out. Okay. Saturn's in retrograde. Pluto's in retrograde. North Node's been retrograding. So, like I said, this is a retrograde season. Wait till all the planets go retrograde. Woo. And then we also have Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces. Okay. Let's talk about it. All right. What do we need to hear at this time? What is the energy going on right now? What do we need to pay attention to? What is that buzzing noise? Oh, it's the water thing. All right, guys. So, yeah. Moon and Virgo with Sun in Cancer. A lot of people can. It's like acting on our emotions, but not really. Like, we might be acting emotionally, and how do I say it? Everybody's acting out, taking action on something as far as love, relationships, career, right? It's a lot right now that's kind of hitting the fan. So we need to make sure that we're always giving ourselves rest, rejuvenating, you know, making sure that we're taking time for ourselves. Yes, it's good to take action on your endeavors and things that you got going on, but rest is a part of the journey. It's a part of the game. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? You tell a Moon and Virgo that, it's like, don't tell me when to rest. Don't tell me, you know, even certain signs right now, like I said, this fire and Taurus stellium that's playing out, this fire and earth stellium playing out right now. We're forced to deal with earthly matters or practical matters right now. A lot of people are taking action on that. And now it's like adding the emotional flair to this, illuminating all these things. We need to rest, okay? Because whether it's the things that you hear on a universal level, the things that we hear out that are playing out in the world, all these headlines, that, okay? And then you also have whatever's happening at work, all the changes there, and then all of your relationships, and then also you have your own goddamn endeavors that you got going on. It can be a lot. So we have to make sure we're detoxing from social media, detoxing from people, places that we frequent, things that we do, okay? Getting in the habit of changing our patterns and behaviors and gaining healthy routines for ourselves. Really going within and utilizing our intuition, our gut, and using our brain, you know what I'm saying? Like really making sense of whatever's playing out. It's really important to do so right now. We can get lost in the sauce with all these things playing out. Some people don't know they left from they right when all this stuff is playing out. It's like, what's true? What's fake? What's, you know what I mean? It's like all this like, you know, people can just want to scream and give up. So if you really take some time for yourself, you can get grounded, okay? And then still allow yourself to carry out whatever it is that you want to carry out in the world, honey, okay? So that's why we have the door to spirit here, okay? While, you know, we have, ooh, look at this. All in the 11th house of the world. Having all of this energy play out, what we can really do as far as looking at these aspects here too. I see some aspects playing out to where you can really stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on spiritually. You really need to know who you are. You really need to master your own energy. You really need to know what gifts, talents, and skills that you have. Like, you need to know you, period. Like, it's really crucial right now during this time, okay? So you can add that spiritual flair, like you as a spirit, okay? Being spiritually tuned in and tapped in, turned on is going to be so important because everything, it gets so deep out here. You can really get rocked to sleep. So you can incorporate all of that into whatever it is that you're tapping into. What does this look like? Well, certain practices that you do, spiritual practices that you do, that when you wake up, that way, you know, you don't touch your phone for the first 2 hours. You write down, you know, everything you're grateful for, you know what I'm saying? You do whatever prayer or whatever, you have affirmations in the mirror when you brush your teeth, you know what I'm saying? You know, you set yourself up nice for the remainder of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have whatever it is that you incorporate to allow yourself to maneuver all of this energy and all of these things that are playing out so that you can be happy with what you're doing. You know, you can actually feel good about the things that you're carrying out. Door to spirit, you know what I'm saying? With all of these changes, okay? Taking one day at a time. It's a lot, okay? So we have to transmute the energy, 3 + 2 = 5, into our creative endeavors and take action on that with that fire stellium that we have playing out. Very important. So allow yourself to keep diving deep with those practices. Keep working on healing. Keep working on closing up those, you know what I'm saying, those wounds. Because a lot of times people just have scars and they unpeel them, project, and then it goes back to like, oh, okay, I thought I healed it, but you really didn't. Still, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's like a scab. You know, it's a scab. It's not like an actual scar. You know what I'm saying? So we have to make sure we heal those wounds, right? There's a lot of things that are taking our attention, our time, and our money, so we can be all tied up with, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta go here, but they're saying this, and they said do that, and da 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 da. It's like all these different things, whether you have bosses, family members, kids, you know, what the news is, like whatever you pay attention to, you can be wrapped up in so many different things that you may just not want to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be aware that, like I said, you're taking the time for yourself. You know how to stand back on, you know, your 10 toes and put your crown back on. Utilizing your discernment, doing your due diligence, research, all the things, and making sure that you are not adding too much on your plate to where you don't get anything done, especially with that major sextile with Jupiter that's going on right now. So very, very important, you guys. Okay. What else we have here? Yeah. Transmuting the energy into your creative endeavors. Okay. Archangel Ariel. Okay. You know, whatever it is that you desire. I don't want people to be in fear. You know, I get a lot of, you know, random messages from people that I don't know. And that's on 4, 5, 6. People that are just, they don't know where to begin. They don't know if they even should do anything. You know, especially we have all these different social media platforms. We have old ones that's been here. We have new ones that are coming out. People don't know where to begin, how to start, how to get an audience, whatever it is. Even outside of social media, like they're taking away places to even, you know, have fun as far as bringing out your inner child. You know, I remember they used to have roller skating rinks and all kinds of cool little fun activities. You could do like poetry slams, and you know, you can show up on Wednesdays at a place and do your music. You know, they don't have any, it's like they're taking away all of those things so we don't create. So now you gotta be in this new digital age. You know what I'm saying? It's like force us to kind of be on that kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Now here comes AI. So it's like either AI is going to take you away, it's going to take whatever it is that you got going on as far as your job away. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we have to really transmute the energy. There's a lot of things that are ending. You know, 36 equals 9. There's a lot of things that are going away. So you can be the protege now. You can be it. You know what I'm saying? You can be that it factor. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. Consistency is key. And don't let anything stop you. You know, that's why I said that, because we have these chakras that came back to back in a row. Okay. Archangel Chamuel, the 3rd chakra. Okay. So very important, you guys. Mind, body, and soul, to stay grounded, and carry out what you want to carry out. You know, everyone's always screaming, yeah, it's the end of the world and all these things, but I feel like, in a sense, for some, if you haven't done any shadow work, you could take that as, I want to give up. I'm depressed. I don't want to be here. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? While you're here, make life fun. Like, you almost kind of low-key got to be delusional in a sense to where, I don't want to say like, oh, people can take that the wrong way, but you got to create your world. You know what I mean? Happiness comes from you, not somebody else. Like, you got to make your life the way you want to, you know what I'm saying? You got to carry out all your duties, responsibilities, and obligations. You got to take action on that. If you want this or you want to be that, you got to do that. Be that every day. Okay? Utilizing your throat chakra. Talk about it. You know, write about it. Think that way, in a positive way. You know, knowing that you can do it. Knowing that you can conquer it. Talk amongst other people that can motivate you, uplift you, bring you up, build you up, teach you something. You know, being around like-minded people. That way you can celebrate life, and instead of being in this rut. Like, I hate to see people wanting to give up. Trust me, because I've been there a few good times back in my years, but I had to find ways so that I don't go there again, you know? Because I feel like I have a mission, you know? So hopefully you feel the same way. Like, you have a mission to carry out as far as what you're supposed to bring to the world. I don't know what to tell you. If you ain't got, you know, if you feel like you ain't got no creative spark, no ideas, no nothing, you feel like you ain't got nothing going to the world, I don't know what to tell you on that. So you must, I don't know, you must be a bot or something. But women holding a coin, like I said, you know, paying attention to who you're giving your time and energy to is going to be really prominent during this time. Because remember, we do have Saturn in Pisces that's retrograding, forcing us to kind of look at that and go within. But also we have Neptune in Pisces, okay? Fantasy Island kind of energy. Hopefully you are around people like Moon and Virgos that can tell you a couple of things to keep you on track. And not just that, like I said, having people that you know, like, and trust around you to put you and to guide you into the right direction. You know what I'm saying? We can be so misguided with all this information. Of course, we've already been indoctrinated with all these programs and things of that nature. It's like we had to unprogram, reprogram. And now we have all this new stuff coming out. We have truths being revealed, lies being told, stories being, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can be a lot. You know, that's what I said. Mental health. Woo-wee. You have to be stingy with who and what you're investing in. Period. I don't know how else to say that. We're going to move on, though, because I can go on forever talking to y'all about that. This is my favorite deck, you guys. We're going to do Tarotstrology. This is where I incorporate tarot, numerology, astrology, all in one with my favorite Spirit Cosmos deck. I think maybe one day I'll use her meanings specifically, but I'm an intuitive reader, so I use what's being played out and correlating it to what's being pulled. So during Cancer season, that's the other thing I wanted to say about this Deceit card that came out. I don't know if I talked about that, but and that equals the number 7. So having the Sun in Cancer right now, for some, it can be a struggle trying to figure out who is genuinely there, loving me and supporting me, who wants the best for me, versus who just wants to learn my playbook and to copy me and be me and do things that I do in hopes to receive the rewards and recognition and praise that that person does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be hard to decipher who's really there for me or who's waiting for me to win. That way, when that day comes around or whatever, however that looks to society or, you know, societal norms, I should say, whatever success looks like or is deemed as nowadays, you know, you're not worried about who's coming around the corner, you know. Yeah, they've been here, but they've been kind of lingering, you know. They just waited for me until I was successful or something like that, you know. So it can be hard to decipher who cares about you. And so that's where I say shadow work is important. Because when you work on yourself, you'll be able to cross all of that out. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to have true empathy. You'll be able to see the other person and put yourself in their shoes for a moment and look at how they perceive certain things, you know. This is how you gain balance between divine feminine, divine masculine. This is how you find balance between your higher self and you being here now. You know, everybody can say balance, 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 but really what does it mean? Divine masculine, divine feminine energy. So it's like Sun in Cancer, right? Moon in Virgo. Yes, it may be easy to be vulnerable emotionally with people. Not, I don't want to say easy, but maybe you're open. You know what I'm saying? That's not the problem. The problem is when you do that, am I doing it with the right people? So paying attention, you know, and seeing. Now you have to use discernment. Now you have to trust your gut. Use your intuition. Now you have to read between the lines. Now you have, you know, it's all these factors. Like, it's like a lot of filtering that we have to go through at this day and age. So that's what I mean by that. Okay? So be aware of how you're being deceived and by who. Okay? Whether this is headlines playing out on a global standpoint or in your personal life. Okay? Let's pull Tarotstrology. Okay, what is the message the collective needs to see? What are some reminders? Woo! It's been a lot lately. Like, oh, I should have said that word earlier, but it's all good. It's all good. We're going to get through it. together. All right, y'all. Okay, you guys know, if you guys are new here, if you don't, I do read reversals. Okay, it only makes sense. Now we've got an evil. Damn, I don't know why that came out. Probably because I just talked about deceit. We got an even playing field here as far as reversals and uprights. So many people right off gate, that's that teeter-totter energy. What do I need to take action on? What do I need to pay attention to? What don't? It's the attention of what's real, what's fake, who's real, who's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, where do I go, left or right? Like, it's like that kind of an energy right now. This has been going on for a while now, with all of these changes that are playing out. You know, we're trying to make sound, solid decisions for our betterment, but sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. Okay, you know, however we've been playing things out, you know, Jupiter has been in Taurus and it's been expanding for us. So with this wheel in reverse, it's like certain things are happening, and it's not because of, no, I don't want to say that. It's because of, it could be because of what we did in the past that's playing out now, that's expanding. Okay, so for example, if you did something and you thought it was going to go this way and ended up going that way, well, here comes Jupiter. Oh, look what you did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like really allowing you to look at something with a magnifying glass. Certain things may not be playing out in our favor. Some we can control, which is in our personal life, and some we can't control, which is dealing with on a global standpoint. This is what we're all facing, and this is what we're seeing right now, okay? You know, some are not willing to work with us, and you're not willing to work with other people, and vice versa. You know, Three of Pentacles in reverse. Now, like I said, it looks kind of difficult seeing who's really for me and who genuinely wants to see me do well and support me, or who's here to hurt me and doesn't want to work with me and is against me. You know, Three of Pentacles in reverse. Where's the true love, the real love, the genuine, unconditional? Where is that kind of a factor? You know, who wants to really give me praise and work with me, you know, and push me and help me? And are you that person? You know, are you kind of looking back? Are you doing a bombastic side eye and not really wanting to help anybody else but your goddamn self? You got to look at yourself as the man in the mirror. Or are you that friend that is doing that? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like we have to put ourselves in the driver's seat and take initiative. Okay? Chariot card in reverse. Nothing is going to be handed to you. I'm sorry to break it to you, but no one's going to come down to save you. If you want to change your world, you have to get in the driver's seat and take action. You have to be the one to do that. Some people might be sitting around waiting for a miracle and a prayer and Jesus in the clouds to come save them. That's not realistic at all. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of get out of your head with that energy. You know, Five of Swords in reverse. You got to get out of your head. You come up with something. Don't wait for someone to tell you to do something. So a lot of people are still in these old programs, old patterns, old beliefs, whether this is you or you see this playing out around you. You know, I read for you guys. So, you know, we have to remove those outdated programs and things of that nature so that we can move forward, okay? Some people are missing the mark or missing the message on that with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Some people don't want to explore. Why? Because when they do explore, maybe they found out the truth about something, and then when they found out the truth, they fall into a rabbit hole, and they're like, oh no, the world is fake, it's not real, oh God, you know what I mean, I don't want to do anything, you know what I'm saying? So they might not want to explore any of that. It can be very hard to become grounded. You don't want to stay too far into the spiritual world like that. Okay, because then you'll fall into that information overload kind of an energy, and you won't carry out anything that you have that's in front of you right now. And that's what that Earth stellium is kind of like teaching us. It's been, I remember when Taurus, there was like 6 planets in Taurus. We should have been feeling this already, where it's like, damn, we really got to be practical. We really got to create some goals here. We really got to get things going. We got to get the ball moving here. You know what I mean? Especially with Pluto and Capricorn, that's been there for years now, but now it's in and out Aquarius and Capricorn kind of energy for the next 20 years. So, I mean, it's there. You know what I'm saying? So what does this look like when you are on the road to learning about yourself, healing those childhood traumas, moving forward, upward and onward, trying to go forward? Well, you kind of, you know, the Lover's card in reverse. You fall out of love with certain things that you used to do, certain people that you used to be with. You know what I'm saying? You have to drop some relationships off. You have to remove certain vices. You know what I'm saying? People, places, and things on your way up. You know, you might have found out some things about yourself as far as doing shadow work, and you recognizing, oh, this whole time you had a whole nasty attitude, or you were being, you know, spiteful, or in your ego and pride. You know, we all go through that, recognizing that with ourselves. But the point is finding the root cause of that and then changing and doing the opposite, right? So finding these things out. This is Gemini energy with the Lover's card in reverse, okay? Knowing that we have both sides, but knowing when to utilize them in a healthy way, okay? It's very important because, like I said, we could be facing certain challenges or obstacles right now in our life where it's kind of like, oh, dang, okay, I did that. You planted some seeds that weren't so great. And so now you're looking like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? What do I do? You know, some people, you're looking at everything that you have as far as your material possessions, what you don't have. We're all kind of forced to kind of look at that. Can I grow my own garden? Dang, I got to learn how to do that. Now, I don't even want to eat the food out there. Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is that you're building on or want to build. It's like, it's low-key in a sense starting from scratch. Like once you see what's being revealed, once you see what's being played out, it's like, dang, now I gotta try and do this. Now I gotta do that. So this looks like, to me, priority shifting. And so now everyone's wondering, dang, what can I do internally? You know, what is my magi? Do I have any? Like, you know, this is where we're in the universal year of 7, where people now, spirituality is like a major theme. And so people actually want to know, what are they capable of right now? Okay. Going within, you know, some people may not feel, they're putting other people on pedestals. They may not feel that they can do X, Y, and Z. You just haven't been tuned and tapped in and turned on to yourself enough to know. So this is like doing the work. This is healing. That way you can have all the tools in your toolbox, and you know that. You know, but you probably just don't remember. So you have to put in the work to find these things out. So changing the way that you think, changing your conversations that you have with people. You have to communicate. You have to talk action. Some people don't want to talk to anybody. Some people don't want to involve themselves, you know, and tell people what's going on or ask for help, or, you know, it's like we got to kind of be finicky with, dang, can I even trust this person? Oh, are they real? You know, are they just like an imposter? Like, what's going on? It's like all these, like I said, all these filtering systems we got to go through, right? In order to build our foundation and stability, because it's a little shaky. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Everyone's trying to figure out, okay, are we going digital? Are we going to have a coin? You know, all the banks and systems are changing, and, you know, people lost a lot of their businesses or jobs, you know, and going into new ones, or quit a job and trying to build a business now, more on the entrepreneur mindset. So it's like everyone's focused on building stability in their foundation. It's like we got to look at the fine details of everything and seeing what we're tapping into right now at this time, okay? Because there could be many opportunities for all of us, right? Opportunities, Ace of Challenges. Aces bring opportunities and things to the scene. So we have to make sure that we are well aware of, you know, when those opportunities are presenting themselves, okay? We can't miss the mark. Hence why this is why I do videos as far as what aspects are playing out right now, okay? What's the energy looking like right now? What do you need to be paying attention to? You know what I'm saying? What should you be doing? That's why I do these videos, okay? Because there could be so many things that are going on. This is an opportunity for us to nurture those meaningful connections, to nurture those connections where people are actually teaching us something, to nurture ourselves, you know, that way we can open the doors and windows for new possibilities and things of that nature, okay? So using that divine feminine energy with Venus, you know what I'm saying, and putting action forth into the things that we love and that we value the most, you know, that way we can bring on the material possessions and build our foundation to bring the stability and security and things of that nature, okay? So having a balance between divine feminine, divine masculine energy. We do have the Queen of Chalices and the King of Pentacles, okay? When you have a balance of this energy, now it's like you are emotionally stable. You know what I'm saying? You have the emotional security, okay? You can build your foundation. And once you build that, now it's like you can pour into others and help other people and support one another and things of that nature. You know, King of Pentacles is someone that's very firm in their stance. You know, they can take care of them, themselves, anybody else around them, kind of an energy. So this is where we're all striving to be, or this is where we want to be. And if you are that, you're taking action on that even more, okay? This is Taurus energy as well, okay? And so, and Cancer energy, and we're in Cancer season. So making sure that we are, you know, showing a little bit more compassion, operating out of the love frequency and doing things out of love, which hence we can bring in the unconditional love as well. Very, very important. So taking lots of action. We have 8 of Wands and 6 of Wands as well. Okay, this is very, very important. So, you know, going for whatever it is that we want to receive, as far as everyone's fighting for a piece of freedom right now. This is Sagittarius energy, okay? So going towards the things that make us feel free, whether this is learning some information, whether this is traveling, whether this is reading a book, whether this is actually physically going somewhere or moving amongst our chakras within ourselves, okay? This is what everyone's searching for. A sense of freedom, feeling free, or can we even be free? You know what I'm saying? People are questioning those things, right? So it's like, okay, now I need to take action on my life, 6 of Wands, and I need to make sure this is Leo energy. I'm going to take front center stage, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to be there. And I want to make sure that everyone can notice what's going on. So what is money, love? Attention. So a lot of people are seeking attention, especially with this fire stellium that's playing out. With whatever it is that they're tapping into. This is a lot of Jupiter energy too, by the way, right here. So everyone's trying to expand in some form or fashion, expand their financial portfolio, spend their pockets, you know what I'm saying? But also expand their mind. A lot of people are like, this is like, to be alive during this time is so surreal. It's like, it's so, all these things since like what, 2019 or 2020? All of these things that are playing on a global scale, now people are starting to see. We're all like, it's like low-key how, you know, everybody says waking up in a sense, but I don't know what else to call it for you guys to understand what I'm talking about, but we're starting to really see. And we're taking action in different ways now, okay? Hence why we have the 8 of Chalices coming out. It's getting real deep, you guys. We're going in a deep way. It's not about the blue checks and celebrities anymore. It's about other things, how we can cultivate a new system, a new way of doing everything, a new way of learning information, a new way on how to do whatever it is, as far as like maybe growing our own food, building, you know, little tiny houses, whatever it is. Like it goes deep, like really finding out the deep, like diving deep into life, you know, but also still trying to be on that higher octave, vibrate out of love. You know what I'm saying? It's like all these things, there's levels to it, you know? So I feel like this is where we're all trying to go. And sometimes people also too want to escape. This is Neptune energy as well. You know, with all this stuff playing out, like I said earlier, some people may want to give up, and which is kind of sad, but it's true. You know, it's like, dang, because when you spend too much time, you know, in the spiritual world in a sense, and you come back like, dang, like, I don't want to fuck with nobody, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to be here anymore, I ain't trying to work for nobody. It's like all those things start to fall, you know what I'm saying? And so you just kind of want to, you're like, how do I get out of here? How do I break out the matrix is what they like to call it. So however you guys are saying it, I don't know, whatever, but it's like, it could be that deep, you know? And so I encourage you to really take action on your, you know, if you feel like all of that, then make every day your best. Put your best foot forward. Create something new, you know, transmute that energy. Alchemize what's being played out right now. They played you, you play them back. Period. You know what I'm saying? And create your own world, okay? We do have the world card here too. You know, and this is Saturn energy, but in order to do that, it takes action. We got to, you know, stay disciplined in whatever it is that we want to carry out. You know what I'm saying? And do it for the good of humanity, okay, and not the bad. Like, make sure we can bring, because what's the fun of doing all these grand things and becoming a millionaire and running a business or whatever have you, you know, making your own money, working for yourself, if you have no one to go with you on trips or no one to share anything with, no one's on the same level as you. So what's the fun in that? So it works better, whatever it is that you are tapping into, whatever it is you're putting your time and energy into, it's better to do it for the on a collective scale. You know what I'm saying? Whether this is for your own community or if you're like a content creator like me. I'm not trying to sit here and wake people up. I'm just dropping seeds. It's up to you if you want to water it. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. And if I can help somebody do that, and we can all kind of help each other. We all have our own gifts, talents, and skill sets that we can bring to the forefront and come together and build our own goddamn world. You know what I'm saying? But some people are scared or operating in fear, and, you know, they don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? Because of all the stuff that's being played out. So that's why I told you it's good to master self and do your shadow work. That way they can't throw back at you what you've done or how you were hurt or, you know, wear that woe is me badge. You know what I'm saying? That way you can use your mind and create. This is what we're supposed to be here for, is to create, have new experiences, think of new innovative ways to change. You know what I'm saying? And if we could all kind of do that and really come together, which is so hard, easier said than done, it would be so much better. You know, instead of like, you're right, I'm wrong, or I'm right, you're wrong, or this is not the way to do it. You know what I mean? Instead of like, why don't we educate one another? Why don't we bring people together? You know, it just goes so deep. And just talking about it, like, I just sound like this whole humanitarian, but it's true though. Like, it kind of sucks sometimes. You don't want to participate because you see so many people are lost, and you can't even have a conversation half the time. You know, it feels good when I do meet connections to where I'm like, yeah, we can talk about everything and we get it. You know what I'm saying? But some they ain't there, you know, and it's sad. So that's why I say this to say, get out there and use your mind and create, you know what I'm saying? And jump more into the unknown, because when you are doing things in a way where I know change it's inevitable, you guys, and so you have to kind of get uncomfortable. So if you operate more that energy of getting excited about what's to come and you don't know what's to come, get more excited about life, excited about whatever it is that you're carrying into, and have like-minded people around you, it'll feel a little bit better, you know, having that support. Because, you know, it's no fun when you're one-man band doing everything and you have no support. You know, no one wants to help you, no one wants to uplift. It's weird, like, and you're just getting attacked. Like, it sucks, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully we can spread a little bit of unconditional love and add that in there, you know what I mean, on our creative endeavors. Instead of supporting Lucci and Gooey, support your friend that's creating the bar soaps and the incense oils, and, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, doing the readings or whatever, or someone that's creating their own clothing line or has music, or they're a comedian, whatever it is that they do, artwork, whatever. Support your friends that are doing that. You know what I'm saying? That now's the time. Okay, now is the time. So that is your message for today, guys. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, tap and turn on. I love all of you guys. Make sure you protect yourself during this time. Be very selective of your time and energy, and I'll see you in the next one.